went on a date with the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, the third book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which by the way, that is such a tongue twister, and we need to talk about it. Welcome to After the First Date, the series where I share everything from my book date. As a warning, this is a spoiler discussion. After reading the first two books, Situationship, I rated this book Officially Dating. The situationship stuff didn't really go away, but I think that everything I liked in this book greatly overshadowed it more in comparison to the other two. Honestly, this is my favorite book so far. I loved all of the upgrades at the beginning of the book. That was really fun, and I'm glad they have their own personal space. Even though I know no one is safe in the series, I couldn't believe that Brandon died, and it was just so sad, his message to his brother. I really wish that we had a few more scenes with Brandon. It was also so stressful that Mordecai was banned for so long in this book. I was really so sad to find out about Carl's past with his parents. I feel like between his experiences with his parents and B, it really makes me appreciate just how special his relationship with Donut is, and I really just want him to be happy, and I want him to find someone who's going to treat him well. I loved that the cookbook was added to the story. All of the notes from the previous authors were so heartbreaking, but it was also so beautiful to see how they were all much more similar than different, even though they're from completely different planets. Since the first book, Carl has been so alone in the depth of his thoughts and just the anguish of having to survive such an awful system. And I think that this is exactly what I was wanting from the first book, where now he has some sort of support system where he can feel validated by the experiences that he's going through and also feel a sense of like solidarity and community with others, not to mention all of the great tips that he gets. Okay, the Desperado scene was really intense. I thought it was really fun to be able to see like what actually is the club, but also to meet up with Elle and Imani. They have changed so much. I also felt bad for Donut when she got her first player kill skull because of how hard she was taking everything. It was also really interesting to see the different sponsors that each of the players got, because I feel like it's just going to add to the whole political mess of everything. I also really love the heartwarming moments where Carl and Donut would help Katya just build so much more confidence and be able to become more formidable as a player in the game too. The whole revelation with Frank and Maggie Mai and everything that happened in book 1 with their daughter, and then I was so surprised that Carl took the Ring of Divine Suffering when he knew all of this stuff. I still think Maggie Mai is terrifying though. I will admit I had no clue what was going on with the train stuff. However, my favorite scene from the entire book, and the reason why I bumped up my rating to Officially Dating, was the whole scene with Katya being the battering ram and Hekla having this whole plan to get Donut because they want Mordecai and the manager benefits. Okay, Eva is so mean, and it was so satisfying to see when Donut and Carl stood up for Katya, and I did not expect for Katya to kill Hekla. I really thought Hekla was going to be in the series a lot longer. Then when Donut used the second chance and clockwork spell on Hekla, I was like, this is so genius. And this is what I'm talking about, where I wonder if I had RPG gamer experience, would I have like come up with this idea? Or like, is this something that would have still been just as satisfying had I had that background knowledge? I was just so happy and moved by how close Donut, Carl, and Katya got. And I also thought it was so cute when Katya and Bautista gathered all the hats and gave them to Donut too. Like, those are the type of moments that I feel like I desperately need in this series because it's so heavy and dark, but also those are the type of moments that I think really remind Carl what he's fighting for and really help him hold on to his humanity. Okay, so much happened in this book and I can't cover it all in this video because this is getting long. Anyways, these are just my date highlights and I need to know, how did your date go?